Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you are considering moving to Singapore for work, one of the most important things you will need to understand is the Employment Pass, also known as the EP. This visa is designed for foreign professionals, managers, and executives looking to live and work in Singapore. But how does it work and how can you secure one? Stick around as we will break down everything you need to know. What is the Employment Pass? Employment Pass or EP is a work visa issued by the Singapore Ministry of Manpower (MOM). It's meant for foreign professionals with a job offer in Singapore that requires specific skills, qualification, or experience. This pass is one of the most common pathways for skilled workers to live and work in Singapore long term. The employment pass is typically granted for a period of 1 to 2 years, and it is renewable as long as you continue to meet the necessary criteria. I know the next question in your mind will be, who is eligible for the employment pass? It is simple. We are going to talk about who qualifies for the employment pass. Here are the main requirements. You will need first and foremost to get a job offer in Singapore. Having a valid job offer from a Singaporean employer, the role must be in one that requires specialized skills, knowledge, typically in the fields like IT, finance, engineering, or healthcare. 2. There is a minimum salary requirement that you also need to meet. The minimum salary for an employment pass holder depends on your qualification and experience. For new applicants, the minimum salary is $5,000 per month if you are a young professional. For older, more experienced applicants, the minimum salary can be higher, such as $5,500 or more. Keep in mind, these salary requirements can vary, and some sectors may have higher salary threshold. The Ministry of Manpower evaluates each application on a case-by-case basis. You typically need to have a recognized degree or relevant diploma from a recognized institution. The more specialized your qualifications, the better your chances of qualifying for an employment pass. While a degree is important, having significant work experience in your field is also a key factor in being approved for an EP or employment pass. This is especially true for those applying for managerial or executive roles. Certain professional skills such as finance and technology may require you to have specific certifications or skills in demand in the Singaporean job market. The next big question in the mind of many will be, how do you apply for an employment pass? We are going to look at step by step so that you can follow this guide in getting an EP as you choose. The first step, you need to secure a job offer from a Singaporean employer. The employer will be the one to apply for the employment pass on your behalf. Although you will need to provide supporting documents like your educational certificates, resume, and salary history. The next step will mean your employer will then submit the employment pass application online through the Ministry of Manpower's website. The application process is entirely digital, and your employer will need to provide details about you, your job, salary, and your qualification. The processing time for an employment pass typically takes about 3 to 8 weeks, though it can vary depending on the complexity of the application. If your application is successful, your employer will receive your employment pass, which can either be issued in the form of a physical card or an electronic pass. These pass allow you to start working in Singapore immediately. Now, before we continue, before you get even up to this point, you need to start from step 1. Getting a job in Singapore. How do you get a job in Singapore? Don't worry, I'm going to show you 3 websites that you can use. You can start today, now, searching for job in Singapore so that you can get an employer that will put in that application on your behalf. Let's go and see the very first website. So the very first website we are going to start with is sg.jobstreet.com. And on this website, here we are, is a job search, profile, career advice, and you can sign in if you want to continually use this website. Probably if you want to apply for a job, you will need to sign in. It means you will register your profile, create a profile here. That is clicking on this button to register. But since we are not doing that now, I just want to show you how you can look for a job in Singapore.
You can use a keyword. What do you mean by keyword? Keyword could be your occupation, a nurse, a mechanic, a tradesperson, an engineer. You can use any of that to search for the job. So this is a bucket, different buckets: accounting, administration, banking and finance. If you don't want to use specific, you can use this. And let's just click on healthcare and medical and see. And click on seek. It is telling us we have 2,972 jobs. So if you click, you continue to scroll down, you'll be seeing different jobs. So like this administrative assistant was just posted 10 hours ago. So you can continue to scroll down and see different jobs. And what you need to do is to click on any one and apply for them if it meets your qualification. If you do that, you'll be getting a Singaporean employer that can apply for the employment pass for you. The next website we'll look at is jobcentra.com.sg. This is the site. Again, you might need to sign in if you want to apply for job here. Create a profile, and it says find your next job opportunity. So you can click on this, type in your profession here. And let's go with sales assistant on this. You can type anything. It could be nurse, it could be doctor, it could be mechanic. Just click and type, saying type and click. So it tells us there are 500 jobs that are related to sales assistant in this platform. So scroll down, look for a job that fits your qualifications, your values, and apply to that job. But let's just do one more. I'll change this now to a mechanic and click. So you have 41 jobs that are related to mechanical engineer, power plants. So go through, and if it meets your qualification, then apply to it. The next one is our old friend, LinkedIn. If you have a LinkedIn profile, come to your LinkedIn profile and click on jobs. Click on jobs. This is how you go to Singapore. And on this place that states city, yeah, you need to change it to Singapore if you're looking for a job in Singapore. Left-hand side, all these jobs are in Singapore. Now, if you want to narrow it, you can now put your skill. Let's say a nurse. We've used nurse as an example. Let's use, let's see, for doctor. And click on search. Okay. So these are the positions available. You have 30 results. So MBBS jobs in Singapore, MBBS doctors. So you can use your LinkedIn profile to search for job. And once you click on this job, which is on this side now, these are what is required. The name of the person to call is even here. You can call Priyanka and talk about that if you are a doctor. Now, look at this beautiful statement here. It says, this job is only for abroad location. So you can apply if you're a doctor from outside looking for job in Singapore. It's as easy. You can start with these 3 websites that we have stated here. The first being sgjobstreets.com, jobscentra.com.sg, and the last being linkedin.com.
The big question in the minds of many people will be, what is the benefit, or what are the benefits of the employment pass? Well, if you have the employment pass, you get the legal right to live and work in Singapore for the duration of your pass. These include full access to Singapore's employment market and work opportunities. After working in Singapore on an employment pass for a few years, you may be eligible to apply for permanent residency in Singapore under the professional/technical personnel and skilled workers scheme. PRO status comes with benefits, including the ability to work without a pass, access to healthcare, and even educational subsidies for your children. Of note is that if you are approved for an employment pass, you can also bring your family to Singapore with you. Your spouse and children can apply for a dependent pass, which allows them to live in Singapore and in some cases to work and to study. Singapore is known for its world-class healthcare system, and as employment pass holder, you will have access to public healthcare service at competitive rates. Not to forget the attractive salaries. Minimum salary threshold for an employment pass means that foreign professionals typically enjoy competitive wages and salaries in certain sectors like IT, finance, and engineering, and these could be quite high. While the employment pass offers many advantages, there are a few challenges to be aware of, especially when applying for it at first. Salary requirement is one of them. The requirement for the employment pass can be higher than other visa or passes, especially if you are applying for a senior position. It is important to make sure that your salary expectation is aligned with the Singaporean standard for your industry. Another limitation it has is that it has limited job opportunity for lower skilled roles. The employment pass is not typically granted for lower skilled roles, so you may need to ensure your job requires specialized skills. And the third is that it has stringent approval process. The Ministry of Manpower takes a close look at each application, so it is essential to provide accurate and complete documents to avoid delays or rejection. But don't let these challenges discourage you. With the right qualification and preparation, the employment pass could be your gateway to rewarding career in one of Asia's most exciting cities. Once you arrive in Singapore, there are a few things you should keep in mind. The employment pass is valid for 1 to 2 years and can be renewed if you continue to meet the criteria. Your employer will handle the renewal process. It is important to follow the terms of your employment pass. For example, if you change jobs, you must apply for a new pass. Also remember that the employment pass is tied to your employer. So if you lose your job, you may need to leave the country unless you find a new employer quickly. Singapore is a diverse and multicultural country. Take the time to explore the rich culture, food, and lifestyle to make the most of your time there. Now that you know the fact, the employment pass is a fantastic option for foreign professionals looking to live and work in Singapore. Whether you are a skilled worker, manager, or executive, these passes provide you with the opportunity to be part of Singapore's growing economy. If you are planning to apply, make sure you meet the eligibility requirements and follow the application steps closely. I hope this video is helpful. If you find it useful, please give it a thumb up and don't forget to subscribe for more content about visas, work opportunities, and living abroad. Do you have a question? Drop them in the comment section and I will be happy to help. Thanks for watching this video. Best wishes on your journey to Singapore, and I will see you in the very next video.